orbit. So thus we are going to calculate the magnetic moment of a electron, magnetic moment of a revolving electron. That is what we are going to learn once we understand this concept. Okay. Yes, now let us discuss about how an electron revolving in its orbit around the nucleus results into what is known as magnetic field and how it gives rise to its own magnetic moment. So, consider the Bohr model of hydrogen atom. In the 1911, the Danish physicist Niels Bohr proposed atomic theory, Bohr's model. It is called as Bohr's model of hydrogen atom. At the center there is a nucleus which is having one proton for hydrogen, and one electron of the hydrogen revolves in its own fixed orbit, right. Let us say the electron is revolving in a circular orbit of radius r, simple circular orbit of radius r. Now, when an electron is revolving, it is a negatively charged particle, so it leads to current. The current is calculated as the amount of positive charge for one complete revolution divided by time taken. For what is the time taken for one complete revolution? We call it as time period t. So, with the knowledge of the charge that is moving and the time taken, we can calculate the current. And here conventional current is the amount of equivalent positive charge. Now, we are considering electron revolving in the anti-clockwise sense, anti-clockwise direction. So, current will be considered as same amount of positive charge plus E moving in the clockwise sense, right, moving in the clockwise sense, and then we can calculate what is the current. So, current is given by I is equal to plus E by T. So, which is in the clockwise sense, since it is considered to be opposite to the motion of electron. If the electron is in the anti-clockwise sense, it is understood that same amount of positive charge is moving in the clockwise sense. So, plus E upon T, where E is the electronic charge, basic electronic charge, and T is the period of revolution, that is called time period of revolution, time taken for one complete revolution, time taken for one complete revolution. So, we will calculate what is time taken for one complete revolution by the knowledge of the speed of electron. The speed of electron is usually calculated as linear speed tangential to this. So, that gives us linear speed. Linear speed is calculated as the complete distance for one revolution divided by time taken. So, linear speed V is equal to complete distance covered for one revolution is 2 pi r, where r is the radius, and time taken for one complete revolution is t. So, with the help of this, I can substitute what is the value of t here. Therefore, t becomes equal to 2 pi r by V. T becomes equal to 2 pi r by V. So, substituting this in this equation, we get the equation for current. Therefore, I becomes, substituting this T here in this place, E upon 2 pi r by V. So, V comes to the numerator. So, it becomes EV upon 2 pi r. So, this is the current value, E into V upon 2 pi r. So, 2 pi r gives you the complete circumference. E is the charge of the electron, V is the linear speed or linear velocity of the electron. So, this is how we get the current. So, using this current value, now I can calculate what is the corresponding value of magnetic moment. Here, r is radius of the orbit, radius of the circular orbit, So I can calculate the magnetic moment. It is called orbital magnetic moment. Orbital magnetic moment of the electron. Orbital magnetic moment means what? Magnetic moment of the electron revolving in its orbit of radius r. So it is called as orbital magnetic moment. It is denoted by mu L. Mu L. So mu L is directly calculated with the value of current. Current I into area. Current I into area gives us magnetic moment. So area of this circular orbit is pi r square. So I can substitute pi r square here, and what is the value of I? I can substitute, it becomes EV upon 2 pi r into pi r square. So pi r cancels, so you are left with EVR upon 2. Therefore, orbital magnetic moment becomes EVR upon 2. EVR upon 2. So here we multiply and divide by mass m, where m is the mass of the electron. Multiplying and dividing by mass of electron, let us take it as m. Then we get E into mvr upon 2m. E into mvr upon 2m, where m is the mass of electron. Mass of electron. So we are calculating the magnetic moment, orbital magnetic moment of the revolving electron. That itself becomes the magnetic dipole moment of revolving electron. So thus we get E upon 2m into mvr. With our previous knowledge, we know that the product of momentum and radius, or product of mass into velocity into radius, gives us the angular momentum. Angular momentum, which is denoted by small l. So here mu L therefore can be written as E upon 2m into small l, and this small l here, small l is angular momentum r cross p. So we will just write magnitude mvr is called angular momentum. Angular momentum. Angular momentum of revolving electron. Now it's very interesting. Since magnetic moment is vector quantity and angular momentum is also vector quantity. Magnetic moment mu L is a vector quantity and L is also vector quantity. The question arises, is this magnetic moment of revolving electron is in the same direction as that of the angular momentum? This is interesting. So when you look at it, electron revolving in the anti-clockwise sense, then angular velocity will be perpendicular to that. Last year we have learnt. So the direction of angular momentum is perpendicular to the plane containing linear momentum and radius. So it will be pointing vertically outwards. So I will write here L vector points vertically outwards. Here magnetic angular momentum points perpendicular to the plane, outwards, pointing outwards. What about the magnetic moment? So the magnetic moment of the electron, you see, it is in the opposite direction, because here if it is a positive charge moving in the clockwise sense, then magnetic moment is given by, again if it is clockwise sense, you see, then the thumb points inwards. So, as we have seen, electron revolving in the anti-clockwise sense, we have taken it as equivalent amount of positive charge revolving in the clockwise sense. Therefore, naturally, what happens to the magnetic moment? Magnetic moment points vertically inwards. So, here this is about angular momentum, but mu L, magnetic moment of electron, this is orbital magnetic moment. Mu L vector points vertically inwards, vertically inwards. So, that gives you an idea that mu L and L are in opposite direction. Therefore, we write here, therefore, we write that therefore, using these two important points, one is this one, another one is this one, they are in exactly opposite direction. Therefore, mu L vector orbital magnetic moment vector of the revolving electron is equal to E with negative sign upon 2m into L vector. It means magnetic moment is exactly in opposite direction of angular momentum vector, because electron is negatively charged particle. If it would be same amount of positively charged particle revolving in the anticlockwise sense, then in that case orbital magnetic moment of the revolving positively charged particle and its angular momentum both would be in the same direction. That is evident from this equation. Now, we apply Bohr's quantization condition. We define here one new quantity called as gyromagnetic ratio. Gyromagnetic ratio of revolving electron as the ratio of orbital magnetic moment to the angular momentum. So, this gives us E upon 2m, where m is the mass of the electron, E is the charge of the electron. This is called gyromagnetic ratio of a revolving electron. And for revolving electron, if you substitute the values of electronic charge and mass, you see this gyromagnetic ratio is calculated to be 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb divided by 2 into mass of electron, 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31. So, if you substitute this, you get so much of coulomb per kg. So, it is calculated to be constant value 8.8 into 10 to the power of 10, 8 into 10 to the power of 10 coulomb per kg. This is the gyromagnetic ratio of revolving electron, right. Now, coming back to the equation of the magnetic moment, orbital magnetic moment of revolving electron, mu L is equal to E L upon 2m, E L upon 2m. Let us take only the magnitude, so that we will not consider the negative sign. If you take negative sign, then you have to write the direction. So, here L is the angular momentum. Applying Bohr's quantization condition, which we are going to learn later in the atomic physics, atoms and nuclei, in the next part of the physics part 2, Bohr's quantization condition, which states that the angular momentum of revolving electron takes fixed discrete values which is given by L is equal to nh upon 2 pi, where n is the number of the orbit or principal quantum number, h is the Planck's constant, and L is the angular momentum. So, angular momentum of a revolving electron is fixed. If the electron revolves in that particular orbit where angular momentum is quantized, then the energy of the electron is not lost in the form of radiation, and thus Bohr explained the stability of atomic model, stability of revolving electron in its fixed orbit whose angular momentum is quantized, right. If you substitute this in this equation, we get mu L is equal to E into NH upon 2 into 2 4 pi 2 into 2 4 pi m. Here for n equal to 1, we calculate angular moment, orbital magnetic moment of the electron revolving in the first orbit. So, it becomes mu L for the first orbit becomes E h upon 4 pi m. This is called as Bohr magneton. This is called as Bohr magneton, E h upon 4 pi m. So, if you substitute the values of charge of electron, Planck's constant and mass of electron, we get magnetic moment of the electron in the first orbit called as Bohr magneton. Bohr magneton. So, this value, if you just substitute the values of Planck's constant, 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb is the basic charge of the electron, and Planck's constant, if you remember, it is 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second divided by 4 into 3.14 into mass of electron 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. If you substitute this, we get a constant mu L for the first electron in the first orbit. It becomes 9.27 into 10 to the power of minus 24 ampere meter square. So, this is the Bohr magneton. So, how do you define Bohr magneton? Magnetic moment of electron revolving in the first orbit, which is called as ground state, for which n is equal to 1. So, that is what we call it as Bohr magneton, and it is usually denoted by A naught. It is denoted by A naught. So, once you remember this, then if you multiply it by 2, you will get the magnetic moment of the electron in the second orbit. If you multiply it by 3, n equal to 3, then you will get the magnetic moment of the electron revolving in the third orbit. So, thus we have calculated the orbital magnetic moment of electron revolving around the nucleus, and this gives you an idea that electrons revolving will give rise to magnetic moment. And one more magnetic moment is possessed by the electron due to its spin. It is called as spin magnetic moment, and the spin magnetic moment is intrinsic property of the electron, and this intrinsic property of the electron which is possessing its spin magnetic moment, it is denoted by mu s, spin magnetic moment, intrinsic property, intrinsic magnetic moment. Here mu s is intrinsic magnetic moment of electron, and this is due to spin motion. This is due to spin motion. Actually, the electron will not have the spin motion like that of a tap or rotating tap. So it is spin up and spin down. I think you might have learned. Spin up will have positive spin moment, and spin down will have negative magnetic moment. So this intrinsic property of electron is called as spin magnetic moment. Spin magnetic moment. So this is the one of the four fundamental quantum numbers, right? Orbital magnetic moment is denoted by mu L, and spin magnetic moment is denoted by mu S, and the principal quantum number is denoted by N, right? So this is the property of the electron, which is intrinsic magnetic moment of the electron, responsible for the iron like materials to possess the magnetic properties. When the iron is kept in the external magnetic field, the iron possesses the properties of the magnetism, right? And the magnetism is thus is caused, the cause of magnetism is the spin moment of the electrons, and it is nothing but the movement of electrons, the circular movement of the electrons, right? That is the cause of magnetism. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.